Strong Dads wants to thank Quality Auto Mart for joining us as a sponsor. Quality Auto Mart was born in 1985. They are owned and operated by Mark and Nancy Repke. Quality Auto Mart provides all the services, repairs, and maintenance for your vehicle's needs with a 3-year auto parts and labor warranty. They offer complimentary vehicle safety inspection and estimates. Also, they offer a shuttle service, and the 4th oil change is always on them. They are located at 7307 on State Road 46 in Batesville, Indiana. Make sure you give them a call at 812-934-2301.
Welcome to Strong Dads. This is Merle Hutchinson and Kyle Crawford, the lost prodigal son.
Let's go.
Back.
What's going on, guys? What is going on?
We are welcoming Kyle back to the crazy world of Strong Dads.
I'm back.
What's up, dude?
Not much. I told you before we hit the record, I'm kind of nervous. It has now been 7 weeks, Merle. You have carried the load.
Trust me, I know.
For 7 weeks, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you all the shows.
That hurts you, doesn't it?
It
does.
I have to admit that I'm proud of you.
Oh, well, thank you.
You've done good, kid.
Well, you know, you had a crazy work schedule.
Yep.
All that was getting all weird on us. So we are just like, let's shut that down. That's why we did the parables. But now we're coming back. But I have to tell you, like the last time we really hung out was at the golf outing.
Yep,
and this pains me to say this.
All right, I'm ready.
I mean, everybody knows in our audience out there that you're a pretty good golfer.
I'm okay. I do all right.
Yeah. And you smoked the golf ball.
It was a lot of fun.
Over our 4-day week. We were just talking how, at least in our part of the country, it's not been that hot. Everybody's talking about this heat wave, like not so much in this Midwest area. But we did choose the 4 hottest days.
We did.
And so it was smoking hot, but you were just taking the cover right off the ball.
It was a lot of fun. I have said this. I have put, I'd say 3 months prior to the golf trip, I put a lot of work into my golf game. I started doing weekly golf lessons and kind of changed my golf swing. So it was very cool to go on a golf trip and actually kind of have it all, you know, the fruits of my labor kind of happen.
That was very cool. And I have to tell you, like, this hurts to say this.
I like it. Keep it going. This is good.
Yeah. I mean, you organized that whole trip.
It was,
and that thing runs really well.
I had some help. I had some guys that contributed, and then I delegated some stuff. Jenny told me that's like, you know, you have to if you're I mean, 24 guys. It was like herding cats. Sometimes.
It is, and guys are the absolute worst to try to manage around anything. You can't organize men because they're just stubborn. They don't listen.
I mean, that we went to the other course, and like, you know, I said, hey guys, you know, we had to be on the first tee at this time, and and like they're calling on the PA, you know, the first Crawford group, you know, come to the first tee box, and I look over and there's 8 guys on the driving range. I'm like, what are we doing here? I told you guys, we have to be on the tee box at this time.
Yeah, they're just non-existent when it comes to cluing into the direction. But you did a great job,
well,
and so welcome back. It's good to have you back.
Yes.
We have 3 more shows of parables.
Yep.
So we're going to knock those out, and then we're going to start into, actually it'll be like the first week of September that we're going to start rolling into some of our other stuff. Okay. We'll get into that.
Can I get back to our normal swing of things here? Yeah.
No pun intended. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. There we go. That was good.
So, all right. Well, let's thank our sponsors.
I like it.
You remember who they are?
I do.
Right.
I do. Actually, I had an opportunity to meet a couple of them at the Rock Solid 5-year anniversary thing.
We did. That was one other thing that we got together, and we had our 5-year celebration, and that we do a big thank you to all of our sponsors and people who donate and support the Rock Solid Families Ministry. Had a good time. I mean,
it was a great time,
it's a really cool venue, and you know, we just had a good time. So you got to meet some of our sponsors in real time.
Yep. So so Strong Dads, we would love to thank Quality Auto Mart for coming alongside of us. Really do appreciate them. New ownership, so they're kind of the change of the guard. So really do appreciate them for coming alongside of us, allowing us to keep putting shows out. So really appreciate Quality Auto Mart.
Yeah, and also want to thank Casey's Outdoor Solutions for being a longtime supporter of the Strong Dads podcast. So we want to thank those guys, and for any of your either automotive needs or your landscape needs, go check out either Casey's Outdoor Solutions or Quality Auto Mart.
Good deal.
All right. So here, this is an oldie but a goodie. Everybody.
Perfect timing. It kind of fits right into me coming back, you know?
Yeah, we're going to do the Prodigal Son. The Prodigal Son. If you're watching or not watching, I'm pointing at Kyle right now. You know, he left me for 7 weeks because he thought he had better things to do. Yeah. No, but we're going to do the Prodigal Son. But I think the Prodigal Son story speaks to a lot of different characters.
Yeah.
And, you know, depending on the seat that you sit in, sometimes you see it just from that one, oh, yeah, like I can relate, but there's always another seat. And so this is somewhat of a long one. I am going to read it. If I had to hit tag team and you help rescue me to read it, we'll do that. But I think we'll just go ahead and read it. This is out of Luke 15. It's 11 through 32. And so here we roll. And he said, a man had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the share of the estate that is coming to me. And so he divided his wealth between them. And not many days later, the younger son gathered everything together and went on a journey to a distant country. And there he squandered his estate in wild living. That's what you did over this last 7 weeks. Now, when he had spent everything, a severe famine occurred in the country, and he began doing without. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed pigs. And he longed to have his fill of the carob pods that the pigs were eating, and no one was giving him anything. But when he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired laborers have more than enough bread, but I am dying here from hunger. I will set out and go to my father, and will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired laborers. So he set out and came to his father. But when he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion for him. And he ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his slaves, Quickly bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. And bring the fattened calf, slaughter it, and let's eat and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and has come to life again. He was lost, and now he has been found. And they began to celebrate. How about you take on 25 there?
I like it. Yeah. So meanwhile, the older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of his servants and asked him what was going on. Your brother has come, he replied, and your father has killed a fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound. The older brother came angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. But he answered his father, Look, all of these years I have been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders, yet you never gave me a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, came home, you killed a fattened calf for him. My son, the father said, You are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate, be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is now found.
All right. So lots of different ideas or people from different perspectives. You have the young wild son, right? You have the older brother of his, and then you have the father, okay? Yeah. And so the idea here is all of us can see different characteristics. Like when I see that young son, I see this is just kind of a know-it-all punk kid. He's chasing his flesh, right? Man, whatever feels good. I'm tired of working around this place. Yeah. I know there's some money coming to me. I'm just going to do that immediate gratification, and I'm going to go get it now. And so there's a level of arrogance. There's all these things, right? And then there's that older son. And that older son, man, he's Mr. Self-Righteous. I've done everything right. You know, nothing, I don't ever get that kind of attention. You know, woe is me kind of thing. And so he ends up becoming very unforgiving, very judgmental. And then there's the father.
Yeah.
And the father, he is the great provider.
Yeah.
I mean, he's providing everything for these guys. But he allows some pretty crazy things through unconditional love. All right. Meaning it doesn't really matter what his sons are doing. He stays with them, but he gives them this crazy thing called personal choice.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want you to go out and run the streets and spend your money, but I'll let you do it. I'm not going to enslave you in that way. And that whole idea that the father lets that happen is, especially, as a father personally, most of the time you can predict what your kids are going to do when you give them that kind of freedom. Well, I know I'm going to let them do this, but I know this is probably going to work out like this, And so anyway, those are some of the characters I think that we can look at here.
Yeah. When we look at the story, I think naturally we're talking to strong dads, man, put yourself in the shoes of the father here. Like similar to what you're saying, Merle, I can't tell you the number of times where my girls will ask for something and in my eyes, I'm like, Ava, Mia, no. Like I know what is going to become if I give you this or if I answer, this request that you have. And to see a father, just what we're talking about, like that unconditional love, like even though he probably in his mind knew I'm going to give you, the wealth that I have that's deemed for you in the future, I'll give it to you now. I'm sure he knew the results of those, because again, if he knew his sons, he knows that the younger son this probably wasn't the first time he was disobedient towards his father. I'm sure this is a pattern that he has seen. But I think it's really cool to see a father, even though have that kind of like that perspective that obviously his sons is not, to still, to have that unconditional love, to give him the wealth and to allow him to go do just what you're saying, like that free choice. But then the flip side of that is the welcoming back. I think it's so cool just to see, a father reaching out, not just waiting for his son to come to him, but he went and saw him and he went and gave him that hug, and then to celebrate with him, and then obviously the flip side of that is to having the brother asking those questions, those hard questions where it'd be really easy for him to be like, look, like, I'm the dad. I know, like, I'm sure we've all done this before. Like when your kids are arguing, they're just do what I say because, right? Just because I said so. But to go through the explanation of explaining to this other brother, just like, this is why I'm doing it because of love.
Right.
I think is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, the older brother in this case, I think he's, from all accounts in terms of logical thinking, he makes sense. Mm-hmm. He is working out of truth and justice. Yeah. I want truth and justice.
Yep.
And we've talked before on shows the idea of, do you really want truth and justice? I mean, do you really? Because if you really want to operate under truth and justice solely, then you better hold on tight, because we all will fall short. Yep. And so the father has the wisdom and the insight here to say, listen, in general, we're going to run this place with truth and justice, but you have to know when to sprinkle in the grace. Yep. You've got to know when, and that's the wisdom part of it. I want to circle back around. I mean, the dad here, the father, what he does there is pretty amazing.
Yep.
But I want you to know, like, he does some things that sometimes I think we, or some things here that have happened that we don't give credit to. He didn't chase after his son. I mean, he went and he greeted him when he was coming down the lane. You're saying
when his son was leaving the first.
Yeah, he didn't go and chase him through these other countries and try to bring him back. No, he's like, go. But the ultimate thing here that happens that allows the father to have a change in heart is that the son, the youngest son, he changes his heart. Yeah. And I think that that's the thing that we have to recognize. It has to be our own heart that changes. Yeah. God doesn't force it. I mean, God wants you to come back. He desires it, but he doesn't say you have to do this. And so none of this will move forward if that younger son doesn't have a change in heart. In other words, he finally softens his heart. He finally sees what he actually had. And so, that's that awakening, that epiphany that I think we have to even allow with ourselves. We have to allow with our own kids. This story makes some sense with me personally in our own home, where we've had to say to some of our kids' situations, like, you know what, if you think you know better, like, go do your thing, right? We love you all the same.
Right.
In fact, we love you so much that we're going to let you do that and watch whatever happens.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I think the whole story is pretty cool.
Yep.
And it's a reminder again, what do we take away from this that's applicable to today? God's balance in his truth, justice, and grace as our Father, and how we as men are to implement and put that into our own life. If you're going to run your house with rigid rules and law, that's not what God calls you to do. Right. I mean, leadership means knowing how to step between the grace and the truth. So I think that's a great opportunity for us to figure out how we're going to do that in the home.
Yep, I like it. Yeah, as we move through this week, thinking about this parable and just understanding, I think it's really cool just to again, the idea of the parables is speaking to a language that we would understand. I think all of us can put ourselves in one of these three shoes of either of the brothers, and then the dad. I think when you put yourself in any of those shoes, man, just the idea, for me, I think just it hits home that the actual prodigal son who leaves and has that rebellious stage. I think all men can probably relate to some form or not, just having that rebellious stage. And at the end of the day, I think just the big takeaway is the idea of us having a rebellious heart towards God, but having a God, this unconditional love, always ready to accept us back when we're ready to make that decision.
Yeah, and I know we're going to wrap up, but you got my brain thinking. We can think of a lot of us men as being rebellious, but there's plenty of men out there that have done everything right, and when they see somebody get a break, they're like, well, that's not fair. I've done everything right. Why don't I get a break like that? And so, you'll see more than a few guys that are good guys, right?
Yep.
And they've done everything right. And yet they don't feel like they're catching the break. So again, like, it's not about us. It's about God and how we are having a relationship with him, not all those other, comparisons to other people. So.
Good deal.
All right. So we want to thank our sponsors, Quality Auto Mart and Casey's Outdoor Solutions. We also, guys, need your help. Share the show.
Yep.
All right. Share the show. Get this out there to friends. Check out what we're doing at Rock Solid Families. You can check that out at rocksolidfamilies.org. If there's any way that we can help, reach out. You can get us there. So do your thing. Go carry the load.
Thanks for having me back, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to be back. And we got a couple more weeks of the parables, and then we'll jump back into our normal shows. So thanks so much. Go out there and be some strong dads.
You just do that so much better than I can do that. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Good.
I like the compliment you're giving here. This is good.
It's one and done. Casey's is a premier garden center and gift shop located in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Casey's offers a wide selection of plants, landscaping materials, home and garden decor, and gifts for every occasion. Casey's is committed to providing exceptional service, a unique shopping experience, and value to every customer. Stop in and see what makes Casey's so unique. Located at 21481 State Line Road, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, or call 812-537-3800. Let Casey's help you add beauty to your home.